My name is Gentri Phillips, and this is my ENTO 320 project, and it is Apis cerana is spreading a deadly pathogen to Apis mellifera. Now, what is Apis mellifera? Well, they're commonly known as the western honeybees and are known as being important for many different reasons. Firstly, they pollinate 80% of the world's flowering plants. They're an important part of biodiversity and help it flourish. And they have 6 high productions that humans use in cosmetics and pharmaceuticals. These are pollen, honey, beeswax, royal jelly, propolis, and venom. Now, what is Apis cerana? Well, they are Eastern or Asian honeybees, and they're used for honey production and crop pollination, just like the Apis mellifera, but they naturally reside in Japan and stretch as far west as Afghanistan. They have continued to expand to the Solomon Islands and Australia, which researchers are currently studying why. Now, what is the difference between Apis mellifera and Apis cerana? On the left, we have our western honeybees, and on the right, we have our eastern honeybees. So starting on the left, western honeybees usually have larger colonies ranging from 20,000 to 60,000 bees. They have 3 abdominal stripes. They're prone to be more hostile when danger arises. They release alarm pheromones, and they abscond, which means they secretly try to leave when danger comes. Now, on the right-hand side, we have our eastern honeybees, and they usually have smaller colonies, which range around 30,000 bees. They have 4 abdominal stripes, which is the easiest way to differentiate them. They are more timid and docile, but when danger arises, they are fast and they create hissing sounds and heat balling. Now, heat balling happens in both western and eastern honeybees, and it's when the bees surround an insect or an intruder. But the difference is the eastern bees are able to produce heat, and which ultimately will kill the intruder, and they produce less honey. Now, what is this pathogen? Well, it's Nosema cerana, and is the most serious disease of adult bees. So, Nosema cerana is a microsporia, which is a group of spore-forming unicellular parasites that causes infections in honeybees. The primary route of infection is oral fecal, from when a worker bee picks up spores while working with contaminated food or water. It is a cross-infective pathogen and is more damaging than Nosema apis, which originates from the western honeybees, as it attacks and kills faster. Now, Nosema cerana originates from the eastern honeybees, and these symptoms include diarrhea, reduced numbers of bees in the hive, crawling bees, milky white gut coloration, impaired pollen digestion, and shortened life of bees. Now, the question I had was, how does the pathogen Nosema cerana that originates from Apis cerana cross-transmit and affect Apis mellifera hives? Well, here's some research that I found. So, a study that was done in northern Germany on the detrimental effects of Nosema cerana on Apis mellifera, and it was conducted from 2005 to 2020. It monitored 180 to 170 colonies. Now, when we look at the graph, we see these dots on it, and this represents the proportion of dead colonies. And as you can see, this number just keeps rising and rising, which shows the detrimental effects that is happening. And the regression line that is shown in its 95% confidence interval are highlighted. So the next study that I found was done in China, Taiwan, and Japan, and it shows the prevalence of Nosema cerana in honeybees. Now, this was conducted in 2009, and among 78 bees sampled for the Nosema infection, 38% were Nosema apis, which originates from the western honeybees, but 71% were Nosema cerana positive, and 19% had co-infections with both apis and cerana. And so of the bees collected in China, 61% were positive for Nosema cerana. In Taiwan, 73% were positive. In Japan, it was 75% positive for Nosema cerana. And we can see this in our graph as the purple line shows the Nosema cerana and the bluish kind of gray graph shows the percent of Nosema apis. In our next study that was done in 13 states in the United States, it collected 8 random colonies and its samples. It was conducted from 2010 to 2011. And so a total of 349 samples were collected from 50 apiaries in California, and then 24 from Hawaii, and 25 from the remaining states, so Alabama, California, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Indiana, Michigan, New York, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and Washington. And as you can see, found in all states, Nosema cerana was found in 44% of the samples. And that is a lot higher than it used to be. This shows that Nosema cerana is spreading throughout the United States. It's not staying in the eastern countries anymore. In my conclusion, I found that after the conducted research and studies on Nosema cerana, it is found that the pathogen first carried by Apis cerana is spreading exponentially. This pathogen, which attacks fast, is rapidly depleting Apis mellifera and cerana numbers across the world. Now, you're probably wondering, why is this important? Well, the numerous studies show the increase of destruction by Nosema cerana in Apis mellifera. If these numbers continue to rise, honeybee numbers will decrease exponentially. This decrease could affect agriculture, as they are the main pollinators for agricultural crops. Should this continue to happen, the price of goods would increase due to the loss of prime crops, as the honeybees aren't able to pollinate. And honeybees are essential for life. Without them, our world would be completely different. Because of this, it is extremely important to spread awareness of this pathogen and the harm it causes. And here are my resources. So, thank you.